and welcome everyone to our Jane Live. It's always an honor and a privilege to have all of you here and to share some of the gifts, some of the gold, some of the beautiful things that have crossed my path, in all my years of consulting to people. I just want to take this opportunity actually to thank everybody who's contributed to this humongous pool of knowledge, and doing my best to share it and get it out to the world, and really be a leading pioneer, if you like, in a new form of a new paradigm, if you like, of natural medicine, and working together with also Professor Desiree Dubonnet and the QUX, the quantum devices that are available for everybody to use as well, to really bring this information to the fore, because it's time now. I think evolutionary wise, it's time, and what's done is done. It's not about good or bad or whatever. I think right now we've got to a point where, from a reductionist point of view, everything's being totally confused in a way, but become over scientific and over analyzed and over everything. And I mean, we're talking about liver cleansing and toxicity today, and you can sit in any real representative meeting and hear all about the phase 1 and the phase 2 and all of this. And this morning I was sitting in a meeting, and there were 13 products available for stress, and each one of them had a few, like 4 adaptogenic herbs in it that did certain things. And I was sitting there thinking to myself, well, as a practitioner, how would I actually know what to use when? Because it was stressed and wired, stressed and tired, stressed and sleeping too much, adrenal stress. Stress is stress. It affects the entire body. It doesn't work. Things don't work independently in a reductionist manner. They work holistically, interdependently. And, our relationship with our environment, we've talked about this so much, with the soil, with the plants, with the animals, with other humans, with the cosmos, is an integral part of health and our well-being. And today I'm going to talk a bit about Rudolf Steiner, and I've got 2 beautiful books here. The one is The Dynamics of Nutrition, and the other one is The Essentials of Nutrition. And I just want to awaken those of you who are really keen, because this is amazing, because he talks about, in what I've studied, the spiritualization of matter, of food substances. And it's something that we tend to forget, because we always look at the physical aspect of what food is doing to the body. What's the physical aspect? But we forget completely about a 24-hour rhythm. We forget completely about the fact that food needs to be completely broken down into nothing and then rebuilt up so that we can assimilate it properly. I'm not negating what we've already done, but what I'm saying is that the things that we've learned about relaxing when you eat, relaxing after you've eaten, being present, being conscious when you eat, and these are all things that assist the spiritualization of the food substances, of the matter, so that the body can then live and grow, and the soul can grow, and the soul can heal. That's why very seldom will I prescribe a way for somebody to eat. Things are important. Proteins are important, carbohydrates, oils. I can guide people what's for maximum health. I can guide people what's optimum for their blood group, for example, or their genetics. At the end of the day, it is a soul decision, and we've actually lost that ability, that intuitive ability to feed our soul. Bearing in mind also that food is the grossest form of getting energy into the body. All right, so what's easier? Sunlight, breathing. Okay, water doesn't always contain nutrients, but if it's spring water, it's going to contain minerals. Almost gold. Those are a much higher level nutritional food substances that are easy to assimilate. And in fact, in time gone by, before we started eating things like spirulina, which is really the first food that we assimilated on a physical level, we didn't need food. All right, so it's part of our evolutionary cycle, and the curve either goes up and down or it goes down and up, and I prefer the down and up because we went this route, we understood, we've become wise, and we're going back up again. And that is why you get people like breatharians who on a very spiritual level can hold the ability not to, in many instances, not to eat or drink. So it's a soul development area, and it's not for me or any practitioner really to convey our thoughts, our choices. I can't sit there, because if I see an apple, it's going to do different things to me to if you see the apple, or a piece of fish, or a nut, you know, or a potato. So we have to always understand that it's a free choice, and we've got to actually get back into that intuitive space. Whereas, for example, if you put various fruits in front of a baby, I mean, they will choose instinctively based on the color, the smell, what their soul's reading in the food, what they need to eat. We've just lost that completely. And besides anything else, if I prescribe a way of eating, that person's going to follow it with a straightforward, logical, conscious brain, and not bring in any of the superconscious or the subconsciousness. All right. And that's where we really are right now. And, you know, to be conscious of the assimilation of the food and what it's going to do to us in the different dimensions, not only physically, what it's going to do neurologically, emotionally, spiritually, interdimensionally even. So I'm just sort of throwing that out there, talking from a very expansive space now, because we almost have to, in a way, unlearn what we learned about food, and the way that it's being presented in many instances in a synthetic form. And that's my worst. You know, to work with synthetic food, which is not in the quantum spin. What do we mean by the quantum spin? You know, I hold this up nearly every single time. It's the golden mean. So the food that we eat must be in the golden mean. It must have this quantum spin in order to feed us on all these different dimensions and our various different bodies and so on. So the golden mean is the quantum spin. And when we talk about quantum spin, the morphogenic field, the universe, we're talking about the spin, and we need to be in sync. When we talk about an interconnection and interrelation with soil, plants, animals, ourselves, and the cosmos, we're talking about the cosmic golden mean spin. Okay, so let's bear that in mind regarding what I'm going to talk about now, because although I'm focusing on the liver and the gallbladder, we have talked about blood sugar, we've talked about blood pressure. It all relates to the same thing, although different organs at different times will require different kind of foods, and they're also ruled, by the way, by different planets and different metals. So this is, you know, expanding more into that as well. And you know, as a therapist, when you're reading quantum reports and things, it's quite useful to understand these aspects. And for example, the balance between carbon and silicon, you know, and those kind of things, very important. So anyway, those of you who want to look at these books, it's Gerhard Schmidt. Gerhard Schmidt is actually the guy who has translated from the Rudolf Steiner manuscripts, if you like, from all his lectures. So, you know, with that, let's launch straight into some good hot information with regards to the liver and the gallbladder. And I've got a live case study for us today. And I think let's just start with that, because it's going to lead into the slides that I have as well. And I also don't want to keep them holding on. Let me just see if I can get hold of Manana. And then we can see that. Manana.
Hello.
It's Jane.
Hello.
So can you turn your sound off? Would you
my sound off from
my
phone?
Yes, because what's going to happen is we're going to get an echo with your voice.
Hello.
Yeah, just for a little bit, just on your screen, turn your sound off.
Hello.
So can you turn your sound off?
I turn the sound off from my phone. You mean from the my phone?
Yes, because what's going to happen is we're going to get an echo with your voice.
Hello.
Yeah, just for a little bit, just on your screen, turn your sound off. Just hold on a moment. Do you get it, Manana? Manana?
I don't see whether. Oh, okay.
Just hold on a moment.
Hold on.
Bottom right.
Hello.
Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Welcome, Manana. You are live. You're on the Jane Live Show. And, well, I am so excited to bring some of this unbelievably good information. Manana and her husband came to see me today. They've been drilling through. They've been following what was suggested to them. It's been 2 months of a journey. Am I right, Manana?
Yes, it is.
A spiritual journey, and we've seen some amazing results, both with her and with her husband. And with their permission, I have her husband's screenshots from today to show you what can happen. Manana's husband came in, he crawled in, he could hardly get into my practice. And Manana, I'm going to hand over to you because you know the background, you know the transformation, and everybody's listening to you.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. My name is Manana, as Jane has said. My surname is Molefe. I was introduced to Jane's program around February by my brother. And as fate would have it, I think this was timing on our part because I thought I was not sick, but my husband was. I could see he's gradually going down, and he was going to the GP and they would give him a medication and he wasn't getting better. He was having aches everywhere. At night, it was the worst thing because he was groaning and he couldn't even sleep on any side. He would toss and turn. Even during the day, he couldn't sit on a chair because every bone in him. And I thought, what is this? Because you are going to the doctor, they are giving you arthritis medication, but you're not getting better. What is happening? But what was frustrating for me was the fact that he was taking paracetamol. Every minute, he was now taking paracetamol like, sweets. And I thought, this is going to kill your liver. This is going to kill your kidneys. I mean, I'm a nurse myself. So I thought, how am I going to? I was even hiding a paracetamol in the house. But because it's an over-the-counter medication, he was able to get it for himself. So when my brother told me about Jane, because I think it's when him and the wife went to see Jane, he became so excited. And he said, you know what, my sisters are nurses. So I will be interested to hear what's their point of view as far as this is concerned. So on the day we visited Jane, it was for my husband, not for myself, by the way. And when Jane started assessing him, I was shocked because Jane allowed me to see the screen and to sort of explain how this thing was working. This man was he didn't say anything to Jane. Jane was telling him that how on earth are you even sleeping with all this problem? Number one, he had a blocked gallbladder. His bones and the shoulder that was aching, Jane said, you are having this joint pains, but your shoulder, how do you even sleep at night? And we looked at each other because we didn't tell Jane anything. Nevertheless, gave him the gallbladder cleanse. And then he gave him some bone joint microbiome. He gave I can't even remember now what he gave, but we went home. Oh, oxygen, by the way. How can I forget oxygen? He gave oxygen drops to take. I'm telling you, we went, it's the most horrible stuff to take, but we said, you know what? we want to do this. It was the worst thing that I saw him getting worse and worse and worse. And one of the days I phoned Jane and said, Jane, are you sure this thing is not making him worse? Should I take him to the doctor? Because I was even scared. I thought, what if his family comes? I mean, coming from a black culture, I thought they'll say, he is sick and you're not even telling us. What if something happens? I was so scared. Jane said, continue. We continued. But also, before I go further, I also went on that assessment. I got a shock of my life. People usually said at work, you look so young. I'm the oldest at work at the moment, but I look like I'm a 20-year-old. I'm 63. And everybody said, what? We are 63. They thought I was like 40. I said, no, I'm not 40. And this is before I started Jane's program, by the way. But when she did the assessment and found the horrible stuff in my body, I was in shock. So I went home. I said, I have no choice. I have to do this. The oxygen, the other things that I was taking. But before, when I went to Jane, the only thing that I was complaining of, I had this horrible, persistent cough. A week or two before I went to Jane, I had a lot of acid. I couldn't sleep at night because, you know, when you lie down, all the stuff flows, regurgitation. It was terrible. I went and bought I'm sure 4 kinds of lozenges, thinking it will help. My throat was on fire. I couldn't sleep. And during the day, I was coughing. And mind you, this is COVID time. You can imagine at work, I have to screen people, make sure and ask all those relevant questions. Do you have cough to work? Myself, I'm coughing. How do I ask people, you're having a cough when I'm having the cough myself? So I was trying to suppress this cough, and this cough would just come. It was coming. I bought, I don't know how many types of cough mixtures also, but this thing was getting worse. So when we went to Jane and she started me on those oxygen drops, 2 days into the drops, my cough stopped to this day.
Unbelievable.
It was a breakthrough. I said, what on earth is this? So with that, I said, I'm going to follow and follow and follow and follow. But the biggest breakthrough for me was my husband. Number one, he was no longer waking up at night like he used to. He was, and I watched him when he was sitting. He would sit on one side. He would sleep on one side. Unlike before, he would be turning, tossing. He was no longer complaining of joint pains. Yes, they were there, but not like before. And I thought, what is this? But the biggest shock for me was the second assessment when we went there. I said, he is getting better. I'm still not anywhere near where he is. And I remember asking Jane, at what percentage am I? Because Jane was so shocked, she couldn't believe what she was seeing on the screen. And then because I said, you are almost at 83%. I said, what is mine? Jane said, I'm not going to tell you. You want to know, go home and do what I told you to do. And I thought, wow, why is she not telling me? Anyway, I didn't press on to ask her further. So I said, I'll come home and do all the things that she told me to do. But you know what? If you look at him, I mean, my husband, facially and everything, he looks like, you know what, the man I met when I met him, because he was becoming like an old man. Even the walk, he was bent down. He is now straight up, and his complexion, he is like, he spends his time in the garden because he's now retired. The whole day in the garden. You know what? I thought, wow, you know what? It's worth every penny that I'm spending going to Jane. So I was just saying to him now, you know what? Look, your blood pressure has gone down. Jane said I must take him off the tablets, because on the day we went, it went from 100 to 100 diastolic, and then about 60 something systolic. And I said, no, this is too low, because now if you're going to take tablets with this, it's gonna go down, and then because he was beginning to feel dizzy anyway. So I thought it's too low. If you take this and you take them at night,
right,
what will happen when you are sleeping? So I was monitoring his blood pressure. So it's sort of controlled. Today when we went to see Jane, I checked it the day before, it was 122/68. So he's maintaining his blood pressure. He is diabetic. He was diabetic. Let me say he was, because he's off all the medications. He's not taking anything. And his sugar, it's just the same, about 3.54, 3.54. It's stable.
That's phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Carry on.
So what I want to say is I'm still struggling with a few issues myself, because I know, but the other thing, when we went, the assessment was showing we had a high level of metallic. I don't know what's this. I can't even remember what that metal was. Jane told us. But when we went today, it's almost back to normal. And I think, I think that's about it, Jane.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for, giving up your time to come and share with people, because you know what, we've got to know, Manana, that with this new form of medicine, the new paradigm, with the simplicity that we, what we work with people, the body, and how we integrate everything, and how we actually sit back and let the intelligence of the plants and the minerals take over, and the innate potential of the body to heal to take over. It's not an ego thing anymore. It's basically putting the right things to the body at the right time and saying to the body, at any time of the day that you need this, it's there, take it. If you don't need it, leave it. And I just think that, and every day that goes by, there's so much more that I don't know, but it's okay, because I'm working with the universe. I'm working with the morphogenic field. I'm working with the quantum spin. And, just really being guided by my own pure thoughts that are there, and by what comes in, and this is both of you. I mean, you've done amazingly well in 2 months. I mean, it's just, what you forgot to mention. Actually, when Manana's husband came in, I never recognized him. And I've talked about this before. I gave him the forms to fill out. And then I thought, wait a bit. My gosh, this is him. In 1 month, he had transformed so miraculously. He was sitting up straight as opposed to crawling in, and he had transformed so miraculously that I actually never recognized him in 1 month. So this is the kind of thing that's happening. This is the passion that I have, and this is what we're wanting to share. And people like Manana, now she's coming from a nursing background. She's coming from the training that I had as a pharmacist, conventional, tunnel vision, conventional training, symptomatic. And she's come out of that space because she's seen results. And she's now able to teach in her own capacity, other people. And I think also, Manana, I think what we really, really have cleared here is that our bodies are full of toxins. I mean, what did we really do with your husband? We detoxed and we nourished. And just by doing that, we reduced the pain significantly, probably by 80-90% reduction. We've stopped the blood pressure problem. We've stopped the blood sugar problem. And that's phenomenal. I mean, this man doesn't have to take tablets again in his life. So that's why, I have this program, because it is miracle medicine. And, just working with people, with the universe, we can really get onto more and more. And, the fact also what Manana was saying was he was living on paracetamol, he was living on painkillers. And, that in itself is acid forming, liver damage forming, and causes irreparable damage. So, really, huge celebrations, and you coming up right underneath, right there as well. The thing about also her husband is that she said as well, he never said one thing to me. in the consultation. He actually couldn't. He was in too much pain. And then when he came back, I said, but how did you do this? Even today, I was going like this and thinking, and I'm going to show you the results, everyone. And I said to him, you know what, you could sell your results. You could say, I was joking, but I mean, they're so good that honestly, a 20-year-old, I haven't even seen 20-year-olds come in like this. You know, we've got two.
And he's 70, by the way.
And he's 70 years old. That's true. You see, and he also worked with his own spiritual forces, because this doesn't also just happen on a physical level. You see, it's neurological, emotional, spiritual, and it's timing. And the better you feel, the more dynamic you are, the more you shift, and the more you can actually manifest on the planet. And that's what I found about this. It was just really an opening up and an evolution for myself, a deeper journey into health and why I'm here. And so we're accelerating on a daily basis, and people like you who are coming in and listening, it's just exciting and it's awesome. And to achieve results like this, I think it's amazing. I'm going to show you them. Manana, is there something else you want to say?
No, I think that's about it, James.
All right. So you're going to go back to your online and put your volume up, and I'm going to I'm going to put the phone down. Is that okay?
It's fine.
All right. We'll speak later. Thank you so much, both of you. I'm proud of you. All right. Bye. Okay, so this is what we're dealing with. And honestly, people come in, rub my hands, they walk out, I know it's another one. I know it's another one done. It's another one cleaned. And I really do request that the practitioners in this group get hold of me and get onto this, because we can't play around anymore. We're getting quick results. Immediate and quick results. To stop a 4-year-old cough in 2 days is a miracle. It's not the first one. We do it time again and again and again. People come in with extremely warm and sore lower legs and feet, and within days it's gone. So just to share that with you. Now let's have a look at these slides, because I'm gonna go forward and backward with the slides actually, because I want to start with the slides, because she's kindly led us straight into these slides. Now this was a man, just to show you. Now this is physical evidence, and just bear with me. I took screenshots with my phone, and I've slapped them on the PowerPoint, so we have what we have. But the importance is this: green is normal. Blue, yellow, and red goes from mild to moderate to severely abnormally high, and on this side, mild, moderately, severely low. So what we want is everything in the green. And good heavens, look at this. I do not get this. I do in a week on this little device. I do anything from around about 30 a week. By the time I've done all my pop-up desk, health desks and stuff, a minimum of 30 a week. I do not get this profile. Nowhere. All right. To have the top ones are related to cardiovascular, the bottom ones are related to heart function. This man was on blood pressure tablets. This did not look like this. All right, it was not controlled. It did not look like this. Here we have it in front of us. Here's the stomach and the small intestine. Absolutely perfect. Just a little bit of absorption to improve upon and just clear the last little bit. That's in the stomach. The small intestine is perfect. And also, I need to just go back here. You see this protein enzyme secretion. I got the hypothalamus and the pancreas to start working and operating naturally, perfectly, without giving a digestive enzyme. Okay? Without altering too much in this man's diet. It perfected itself. Here are the lungs. Now this man came in and he said to me, and he held his throat like this. He said, my throat, I knew there's something with my throat. So there were two things he had. He had something with his throat, and he had still 20% pain that he used to have. So look, not surprised. We see here that there's definitely still something, some particulate matter, toxicity, parasite involvement in the lungs. And, sometimes it's a matter of getting, it's silicosis, a matter of getting the asbestos out, the cadmium, some parasites. It takes a little bit of time. In 2 months to have achieved what we've done is amazing. So in 3 months' time, we want to see everything in the green. These are very small values. These two are basically in the green, so don't even worry about them. This is the one that we're looking at. So had he not told me, I would have then said to him, tell me about your lungs. Are you coughing a little bit? All right, just to say. So that was the one thing that we saw and recognized and know we have to fix. This is absolutely beautiful. Look at the filtration. He's not building up urea in the blood. He's filtering properly. There's no protein buildup. People don't present with this kind of a picture. It is not normal. It's normal, but it's not normal for people to walk in like this. Bones. Now, this is a man that came in with huge bone pain. All right, he took the bone and joint, he took the oxygen, he took microbiome reset, flaxseed oil, very, 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 very crucial. And look at this bone profile. I can count on my hand the number of people that look like this. I'm not joking with you. So this is his calcium intact, everything's intact. His pH is 7.4 on the dot. Okay. So he's not, the blood is not holding onto the calcium, because calcium goes from the bone into the blood, back into the bone, back into the blood. If you have calcification, it's because, first of all, you might be on the wrong calcium tablets, but secondly, your blood pH is not 7.4. So it's going to keep pulling calcium, magnesium, potassium out of your bones. Bone density will be low to keep restoring the blood, because it has to. It needs those minerals, otherwise you die. Absolutely fantastic. So here's the pattern now that we're still fixing. These were in red. So we've got a little bit of inflammation here that we're busy dealing with. We know about it. And as I said to you, 80% improvement in 2 months. A man who could hardly walk. I mean, I actually watched him today. I couldn't believe it. And his whole physique is transformed. He's got rid of the inflammation, the physical inflammation. So we just it's a lag effect, if I can say that. Some of these things are just lag effects, and I'll show you. I think I've got to get the liver slide there, the gallbladder. It's a lag effect. Once we get the ball rolling, everything comes into alignment according to the body's innate healing capacity. So sometimes we get a lag effect, and we don't worry about it, because we know it's going to happen. It's going to normalize. So there's that. I just want to go back a little bit and just see what I did with the. That's very funny. I have to just go and get the liver one. I'll get it in a moment, because that's the whole important one of all of this. That's funny. I just missed it. Never mind. All right. So we've done bones. Trace minerals. I mean, this man is 70 years old. His absorption is virtually perfect. It is virtually perfect. That's why I said to you, people want to buy this profile. Look at his vitamin profile. He's needing a little bit of E that he can get in easily from some seeds. A little bit of avocado. Vitamin K he can get from a little bit of raw cream, cabbage, that kind of thing. His endocrine system, the hormonal system. I mean, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. The parathyroid is going to be a bit related to the bones. All right? We decalcified. We took the chunkapiedra. We decalcified. We did the calcification flush on the vessels. Okay? Very important. Those of you sitting with high blood pressure, you've got to decalcify them. Here's the immunity. And I mean, who could want better? Here's a man 70. Well, you know what? I mean, the lifespan is out there. It's out there for grabs. It's extended. Here's the one that Manana was speaking about. We've only measured 7 here. But look, they're all in the green. And this is astounding. It is absolutely astounding. We've got a little bit of lead left to remove. In 1 month, this is going to be back into the green. Phenomenal, because the damage that heavy metals do is terrible. Allergies, basically 100%. Collagen. Now, everybody's battling with collagen. They can't digest it. They can't make enough because there's too many parasites that are eating it. And then you give it to somebody, and 95% of the people are not digesting the collagen, so the levels stay the same. The gut is not acid enough. All right, we're acid in the limbs and we're not acid in the gut. This is a very important point because it's the roots on the breath. We have to breathe. We've done lots and lots of presentations on breathing and breathing out the acid carbon dioxide and in the oxygen, and the huge deep breaths in and the long breaths out, getting rid of all the carbon dioxide. This man's breathing is absolutely normalized. His digestion has normalized. Okay, so naturally. So let's just see here again. Oops, the collagen. Okay, so very important. We just got a small little risk factor gap there with the immune system to close. So his body form assessment is 82 out of 100, 82% health at the age of 70. It is absolutely remarkable, remarkable beyond remarkable. And, you know, I really thank Manana for sharing with us, because this is the new medicine. It's the new way of going forward. It's the new health. It's the new wellness. And this is sustainable, by the way. I mean, what they would do now is once a year come in for a 4-week detox, send the oxygen levels up, close any risk factor gaps that might have developed, and they're on their way again. You know, you never need to see any medical person for anything that's going to be acute anymore, or definitely not chronic. Your body's going to deal with it. Even, you know, intense radiation, intense exposure to toxins out there, your body's going to handle it quickly. So I'm sure those of you sitting in here, you know, must be dumbfounded, because, as I said, this happens daily, and you know, I want to share this with you. So more specifically, let me just go and see what happened to the liver one. And I will just bring it onto the test screen. I must have, here it is. Let me just see. Yeah, I skipped it. Isn't that just amazing, hey? No, where is the liver one? That's really funny. But I have the screen open, so I'm just going to go into his document. I'm going to go to the liver. And I'm going to open up, I'm going to share the screen and open up on the liver one. The wonders of technology. Let me just see if this is going to share. It jolly well is sharing. So you can all see that. Okay, let me make it bigger. Okay, now you must just tell me if you can't see this, but I think you can. Here's the liver. Now, most people are not digesting protein properly. I've said before, the gut is not acid enough. The limbs are acid and not the gut. The breathing is out, right? The rhythm, the 24-hour rhythm of the body, the circadian rhythm, the interconnection of the body to the world, to the cosmos is out. Digestion is out. That means how can you spiritualize the matter? The energy production is maximized. The detoxification function of the liver maximized. You do maybe 80% of the people walking around have got a good clean liver. Look at the liver fat content. This has come right down. We've removed the dietary aspect of heated oil. There's no more frying of foods. The liver fat content, we're going to talk about liver fat in a moment. This is the one. They did do one gallbladder cleanse, and we're going to do another, probably 2, and the next one will pull us into the yellow and moderate, and the next one will take us into mildly abnormal. And I just want to share at this point is that I have people come and see me that are in the red that have been told the gallbladder has to come out, and within 6 weeks, we fixed it, never to come back again, because we unblocked the gallbladder, the funnel, and we let all the stones come through, and we're allowing the bile acid to come through normally according to its 24-hour rhythm. And therefore, we fixed it. So again, we removed the toxicity, the calcification. So here we want to just do a little bit more work. All right. So in fairness, I think this is unbelievable. Let me just see. Did you all see that? You couldn't see it. All right, let me just try again. I think I know what to do. Sorry, guys. I'll show you now. There. So what I mentioned was these are all normal. The only risk factor gap here is the bile secretion. And that's the gap that we're going to go from yellow to blue to green. The rest of these are like literally, I don't know, a 15-year-old. So absolutely phenomenal. This liver is working perfectly. Okay, I just want to see if you saw that. Still no screen view. How am I going to do it then? If I take a quick shot with my camera, let's try this way, because this is the key. This is the key screen. Sometimes these little programs don't allow us to share. Hold on, I'm just gonna put it through for you. Unbelievable, hey? The one slide that I leave out, the most important one. Okay, so now I'm just going to send this quickly. Then I'm going to go into WhatsApp. Okay, this is the WhatsApp one. Just try it again. Here we come. Here it comes. Okay, you're definitely seeing that now. Okay, so this is what I went through. And this is forming the basis of what we're going to speak about now. I'm going to talk about detoxifying the liver. I'm going to talk about bile secretion. I'm going to talk about fatty liver. It's called non-alcoholic fatty cirrhosis, non-alcoholic cirrhosis of the liver, because obviously alcohol is going to cause damage, but that's cellular damage. Fat will cause cellular damage, necrosis as well, but it's called non-alcoholic. Okay, so you all saw that. Yes. Okay, good. Okay, so let's go back to these slides. And I'm just going to whiz back to the front. So for those of you who come in, you know that we have the complementary immune lectures on a Wednesday with Professor. And then we have the Jane Live on a Thursday. And it's like that every week, and I market the two things together, advertise them together, and hopefully I don't bombard you too much with reminders and things. All right, so let's have a look here. The liver. So the liver and the gallbladder. The liver is basically the master detox organ. And the word Liver is live, L-I-V-E, to live. And that is what the liver is about. If the liver is stagnant and toxic and not operating and not metabolizing our food, not producing glucose as it should, the bile is not being secreted as it should either, we are not living. All right. So this is the power of the liver. It's actually called live. Very, very, very important. And I mean, I know some homeopaths that without doing any assessment will start with a liver detox just because. So because they know they're going to get a big improvement in their patients. We obviously measure it, so we guide it, and we're not using guesswork. But out of the top 3 risk factors, the liver and the gallbladder are generally there. But I still wouldn't like to guess. All right, so it's the master detox organ. It's in the top 3 risk factors. It's totally diet related, the toxicity. So very much in particular the proteins and the oils, and very much related to the whole process of digestion, where we see the food, some better if we can even touch the food, chew it many, many, many times, and then we swallow it, and then with the stomach can produce the chyme and everything, and then release very tiny small particles into the small intestine. And then we can get further breakdown and proper assimilation of the food. Sorry, I was just thinking as I was talking. So if we don't break the food down properly, we get fat pieces accumulating and blocking the lymph, and we get protein pieces accumulating and blocking the kidneys. So apart from anything else, we do have to really break these little molecules right down, and it begins in the beginning, and then we've got to have the oxygen from the breath also to help this whole process happen. Okay, so that's very, very important. So I've just got a lady here. Yes, it is. It's our Quantum 450, and it's one of the ones that I specialized in before I even got my quantum device. And the way, I think, Mira, the way it lays out these panels, it's just perfect. And in 1 minute, you get 450 readings. You get 36 sets of panels in 1 minute. That's how amazing it is. People who come to me for live blood analysis on the microscope will tell you organs, possible liver, possible kidney. All right. This device tells me in 1 minute. It'll tell me blood sugar in 1 minute. It'll tell me liver enzymes in 1 minute. It will tell me uric acid, whatever all of those 450 readings. Some of them you saw. I think I only used 12 of the panels. There's 36 of them. All right, and if you're interested in getting one, please let me know, because it's actually something that every household should have, and people should be tested every month, literally. Yes, I can put you in touch with a device tomorrow. I've probably got about 8 here. So we really do share this, and I have put it out on the groups. Good. You know what they always say, when the timing is right. Yeah. Okay, so let's get back to this gorgeous information. Diet related, if you're going to carry on frying foods, don't come and see me, because you're wasting your money. If you're going to knuckle down and you're going to water stir fry and you're going to steam your food, you're going to dish it on your plate, you're going to wait for it to cool down, and then you're going to pick up your bottle of cold pressed flaxseed oil and put a tablespoon or 2 over your food with your Himalayan salt and your lemon juice and all the delicious stuff, then come and see me. If you're not prepared to do that, we're fighting, because you're carrying on eating heated oil, trans fat oil, which is degenerative, it's free radical, it's going to damage, it's going to cause cancer. And then we're not really on the same paradigm. So we really got to knuckle down and do all of this. And in many instances also, because of the body's inability to convert animal protein, I often find myself suggesting plant-based protein as well, if you are eating meat. Because it's just so much easier to digest. I mean, spirulina is absorbed instantly from the mucosal membrane of the mouth. That's how quick it is. within seconds, minutes. So it's already starting to get absorbed. So we just make the workload lighter and reduce the amount of animal protein, put it that way. All right. And that's also why some people move up and down. Sometimes they're eating meat, sometimes they're not. Then gap for 6 years and then they start eating meat again, or vice versa, whatever. Just listen to your soul. We're all evolving. There's no right or wrong here. Stress is going to have a big problem because of the adrenaline, the cortisol. The cells are getting knocked permanently by this. The immune system is reducing. And stress is going to interfere with digestion. And that's a big, big problem. And it's going to affect the 24-hour cycle of the liver. So here are some of our toxicities. Lots of parasites. You can imagine, I always explain this to people, if you can imagine a big piece of liver, and then it's got these pools of rancid oil that are full of creepy crawlies, parasites, worms, liver flukes, flatworms. All right, and that's what's actually happening. And we need to clean that out. It's often when you do a gallbladder flush, if you haven't done a little bit of parasite cleansing, you can feel very nauseous because they come out alive. So we've got to clean this beautiful liver. The thing about the liver, it's totally regenerative. So it will regrow itself easily. And we need to clean it of the parasites, the medicines that it's had to detox, try detox, the heavy metals, the genetically modified foods, well, I've got some more on the list here. Let's have a quick look. I want to write here the alcohol. And in many instances, very interesting as well, heavy drinkers will go off alcohol just by us resetting them, without even focusing on that as an end result. Like we don't even focus on weight reduction. It happens anyway. It's a byproduct. So we find, and also the cravings for alcohol reduce because as the parasites leave, the cravings leave. So I've confirmed that parasites get addicted to nicotine, caffeine, drugs, sugar, and alcohol. And it's them that cause the addiction and the cravings and make it so difficult for our body to give it up. It's not like a self-physical craving and things that we've all been taught and all that. It's these very parasites that are causing these cravings. So when we reset and balance the body and bring in the homeostasis, it's just not even an issue. Okay, then let's go to this one here. This is the special information that you won't have heard really in many textbooks. So Rudolf Steiner really perfected medicine, education, biodynamic farming, which I follow, and in addition to Deja Dubonnet, has made a massive impact on my life in all sorts of ways. So just to tell you, a firm favorite of mine, just because of the understanding, the innate understanding of the body, and getting to root causes and understanding the quantum field, the universal field, the morphogenic field. So we're talking here about a 24-hour rhythm of the liver. And that won't be news to people who use the quantum device, simply because there's a panel there where you can go and see the 24-hour clock and see the various rhythms, but it's never really explained. So when we're talking about liver, we're talking about glycogen, right, energy, and we're talking about bile, which is going to digest the oil. And actually, we're also talking about protein metabolism. But for the purposes of this 24-hour rhythm, let's just look here. So the liver operates independently of the food consumption. So it's not just going to switch on when you have a meal or switch on when you're not eating. It's got its own 24-hour rhythm permanently, eating or not eating, changing the time you eat. It's just going to carry on with its own 24-hour rhythm, right? Alternating between assimilating nutrients and secreting, assimilating nutrients and secreting. So it actually follows also the 24-hour rhythm of the earth. All right. So the earth has got the rhythm. It's an inspiring, a breathing in phase and a breathing out phase. And that's why you often hear Sister Dipti, definitely Rudolf Steiner, talk about the circadian rhythm, the rhythm of the earth, the breathing in time and the breathing out time. And the breathing in time starts early in the morning, 3. And that's why Sister Dipti will talk about waking up at 3, because that is the in-breath. The birds start waking up and the earth is waking up. The liver's the same. All right, so let's just hold that and have a look and take it a little bit deeper. So we've got this alternating rhythm. So the inspiratory, the breathing in phase, is where the liver is going to accumulate glycogen, right? Glycogen, which is going to go into the bloodstream and feed every single cell to make energy. That is going to happen until 3 a.m. All right. And it is the result of carbohydrate metabolism. It's going to then, from 3 a.m. in the early hours until 3 p.m. in the afternoon, it's going to secrete the glycogen into the sugar, into glycogen as sugar into the blood. All right, so you get that. It's going to assimilate and accumulate glycogen up until 3 in the morning, and then it's going to secrete it. Assimilate, secrete, assimilate, secrete. All right. That's what's happening with the liver all the time, and it needs to be in balance. It needs to be in sync. Then we have the bile, and the secretion of the bile is the reverse. All right, so it's at its maximum at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. The expiry peak, and with a minimum effect at 3 a.m. in the morning. So it's opposite. And this effect is on the fat metabolism. So it's not about when you ate the fat, the oil, the cold pressed flaxseed oil. It's about the rhythm of the bile. Okay, but from a simplistic point of view, we also do the gallbladder cleanse at 10 at night, because you can see the effect of the bile and the gallbladder is at a minimum, and so it's able to cleanse. We don't want to go and cleanse it when it's at its maximum at 3 in the afternoon, rather 3 in the morning. All right, so this is getting you into now in sync with the spiritualization of eating and the feeding of the soul, if you like. And obviously we want to have the cold pressed oils with the enzymes for digestion intact. It's already a step forward. And then we want the bile duct open so that the bile acids can trickle through. We want the hypothalamus operating maximally. It mustn't be full of plaque. It mustn't be full of parasites. It mustn't be full of toxins, so that it can release the cholecystokinin when the body asks for it. So that's going to come via the liver, via the blood stream, via the hypothalamus. So the instruction will flow through the blood to the hypothalamus pituitary and then come out. All right, and in the bloodstream, and then the cholecystokinin is released. Sometimes those enzymes are released via the pancreas. So everything needs to be in working order. We can't have the liver functioning and the bile without the blood functioning properly, without the hypothalamus functioning properly. Those are key aspects. And once we've got the hypothalamus functioning properly and listening to the signals from the body, whether it's stress, whether it's bone development, whether it's a liver hormone, whether it's a thyroid hormone, whether it's a pancreas hormone or enzyme, the cascade's going to happen automatically. And who am I to come in here and give a thyroid product and a adrenal product and a digestive product and a bone product and a circulation product and a blood sugar product? No, I'm just looking at the symptoms. If I'm doing that, I really lost the point there. We're coming in from underneath and above and below, and we're saying, right, let's integrate this body. Let's bring in the homeostasis. That's what the quantum device does perfectly without anyone having to think about it. And then when we start administering the nutrients, we're also allowing that to happen according to the wisdom of the plants and the innate potential of the body to heal. Great. So that's giving you, I think quite a lot of food for thought. And just to say, in ending, the pancreas also has its rhythm. The heart has its rhythm. Everything has this rhythm. And the liver and the pancreas will imprint on the food substance. It's going to imprint. The energy of these two organs will imprint on the substance and have a big effect on the metabolic function, which I wrote there, which unfolds towards the rhythmical. So it's an integration of the effect of the organ and the rhythm, and the effect of the organ and the rhythm, allowing the spiritual forces to come in and impregnate the food substances. And then that rhythm will come from the spiritual forces. So if we are not in sync, it's very difficult also then for our body organs to be in sync. So it's absolutely critical, and from a Steiner perspective, to be in rhythm, to be in sync. And I always talk about my chickens because they have their feet rooted on the ground foot in daylight, and come hell or high water, rain, spring, snow, they will get on their perch at 5:45 p.m. I don't know what the sort of circadian rhythm time is in your countries, but they will get on and they will not get off. They will not get off the perch until the early morning. And then they start crowing from 3 o'clock. Automatically the same every day. They will not eat after quarter to 6. They will not get off their perch to come, no matter how much I try and entice them, because I've tested. They won't get off. They'll cluck at me and say, well, we'd rather come back in the morning. They won't get off because they know their digestion is not going to work at night. The plants have a circadian rhythm too. The animals and the plants, of course, the microbes, everything is in this in the circadian rhythm, the sync, this earth energy, cosmic energy, the universal energy, the morphogenic field. So we really do have to take our understanding of health and nutrition to another level. So that was what I wanted to share there. And then just to come to the end, I just want to show you the two main products that we use for, I'm just flipping slides here, for liver and gallbladder. And again, I mean, it's not really, it's not complex. It's completely simplified. The best detoxifier for the liver is Schisandra berry. And Schisandra berry is on a much higher level than milk thistle, by the way. Schisandra berry will detox and bind the toxin and take it out. Milk thistle will only detox. So milk thistle will split it off the receptor site, but it still floats. Could easily rebind again. Schisandra berry will not let that happen. It's far more powerful. Schisandra berry is also deflects radiation. It's an adaptogenic herb as well, but it's had a massive effect on radiation. So if we have a look at these two products here, this is what we use, and I'm just going to go through some of the key products in the liver cleanse and restore. Why did I call it cleanse and restore? Because that's what we're doing. We're not only cleansing. I've brought in the nutrients, the raw nutrients, the raw foods with a cell wall intact to restore the organ, to restore the liver and the gallbladder for that matter. So we got to also get away from just cleaning. And then what? You know, we've got to be able to restore according to the body's innate potential. So we're dealing with the Schisandra berry for sure, number one in there. It's got the most thing. We've also got the Chunkapiedra in there, which is the decalcification. And I put it in there because of also of the proximity of the gallbladder and the bile acids and the functioning of the liver, and generally also arteries and veins that are feeding into and out of the liver. Very important Chunkapiedra to decalcify. Dandelion, I think everybody by now knows dandelion tea. Very, very important for the liver functioning. Turmeric, very important. Lots of antioxidants. Green tea extract, very important. And with the turmeric, it cuts fat. It cuts oil. You'll see I've also put kelp in there. It cuts oil. So we don't want these pools of rancid fat. necrotizing and damaging cells. We want that out as quickly as possible. We want to help the body get it out. My Fat Go product I often use with the liver too, because you'll find liver fat, blood fat, organ fat. The Fat Go will munch it up, but the Fat Go definitely has turmeric, green tea, and kelp in it anyway. Pomegranate, great, lots and lots of antioxidants. So getting rid of the free radicals that are floating around, working at a different time to the oxygen, of course, which is an oxidant and a free radical scavenger. And then we put MSM in there also. Wonderful, bringing oxygen in on its own accord, but the sulfur is critical for detoxification, and most people need sulfur. So MSM is brilliant for that. It's inexpensive, and it's got a myriad of other advantages. We actually put in bioflavonoids as well, which are naturally occurring plant-based vitamin C. The natural reishi and cordyceps, the two medicinal mushrooms, mostly geared towards liver and organ repair, both critical for lungs, kidneys, heart. And so you see, we've kept this thing completely simple. All right. And I'm not going into this phase of liver detox and that phase of liver detox. And for example, the 13 products on the shelf. I've put everything together. Let the body decide. Let it happen. I mean, these people that write textbooks and then pull chapters out because they're no longer valid anymore, that's just old paradigm stuff. Let's really get in sync with nature and the body and the cosmos and get this thing happening. Not to forget also the emotional aspect of the liver. Now remember, liver and the gallbladder, they're the seat of anger and bitterness. So while you now this is where the East have really taken the things to the highest level first. They will, a doctor from the East will detox the emotion first. And as a result of that, the liver repairs. The Western doctor will go detox the liver, and generally, as a result, the emotion leaves. But it works together. So East and West need to work together. So I'm not discounting or forgetting about anger, but generally what you find when we have such rapid detoxification, the person calms down, the sympathetic nervous system balances, the parasympathetic nervous system balances, the hormone release balances, and what made you angry anymore is you're not able to access it. So the lower astral stuff is not meaningful anymore. We're able to overcome the trivialities of life and focus more on our own development and our purpose. So, with that, I always like to not become technical because I don't believe in that. I don't want to be reductionist. I want to be completely holistic and bring this whole thing into the right space. Just go back to this picture because I'm not finished completely. So yeah, you can get it in 60s and 120s. Generally 1 month is enough to clean that liver, 2 capsules a day. Really inexpensive, large capsules, get the job done. It's not about, well, this product's cheaper than this one, or forget about that. We've got 500 milligram capsules loaded, no fillers, no binders. All right, plant cellulose capsule. It does the job. So get it done. And if you've got to do the kidney the next month, you can do that. You can afford that or do them both together, whatever. That's important. This gallbladder flush is also an absolute no-brainer. Inside there, you get Epsom salts, you get a bit of vitamin C, you get some black walnut hull powder, you get a tiny little bit of 4% hydrochloric acid to assist the gut, and it's an overnight cleanse. There's instructions inside there, and everybody who's done this cleanse, wow, you feel amazing. And I can share another life story with you. One of the health emporiums where we go to, this lady sat down. She hadn't come in with her knowing that she was going to meet up with me. She sat down. She was in IT. She heard everything I said. She wrote notes. She followed this thing. 1 week later, I was sitting there. She came in and she told me already on the WhatsApp that she'd done the gallbladder cleanse, and she said she's feeling fabulous. She bounced in. Her hair was bouncing and shining. She had energy. She was charged. And she said to the 2 people sitting next to me, whatever she tells you, do it. And, more evidence than that, more powerful positiveness you can't ask for. But when you clean that gallbladder, you feel amazing. You feel alive. When you clean the liver, that life comes back into you, the life force, the energy, the chi. And this is what we're doing all the time. We are bringing the chi back, and we're charging the body. And when we've got the chi back, the liver is clean, the blood's clean, and signaling to the hypothalamus is which clean, we've hit the jackpot. We've got the bullseye because the body can then function. Okay, that's it. So, happy looking at everything. There's all sorts of good stuff. Dipti saying that she did her gallbladder this weekend and she's feeling really, really good. So if you're feeling sluggish and not 100%, so it doesn't matter if you do a gut cleanse before a liver cleanse. It's a different kind of a cleanse. So a gut cleanse, you will have quite a lot of cramps and lots of gunge coming out, right? The liver, the gallbladder cleanse is water, mainly water, and it comes out both sides. And you don't know where this water comes from, but the water pours out. And you would start it at typically 2 in the afternoon, and then you have Epsom salt water, you have grapefruit with oil, you lie down, you sleep, you wake up in the morning, and you go to the bathroom, and to be completely open about it, you look in that toilet, you see the little green stones lying just above the surface of the toilet water, and you see the white cholesterol, fatty triglyceride pieces floating on the top. And we've got any number of up to probably 2,000 stones if you don't cleanse there anyway. And also just a breeding ground for parasites. Repulsive. Rancid oil. So we want to be squeaky clean, in ship-shape condition, cleaning the gut, cleaning the liver and all of that. You find that the skin just becomes more beautiful than ever before. The lungs, you're able to breathe better, because these are all detox organs that need to all be open. So we've done blood, we've done blood pressure, blood sugar, we've done liver. Probably we'll do kidneys next, or gut, it doesn't really matter. But absolute pleasure, everybody. The more we can share this knowledge, the more we can get it out there, the more, I think we're called to do this. You're sitting here, it's an honor to have you, but we are called actually to heal and to bring in the new. So thanks very much. It's been amazing. And thanks also to our live case study. Manana, thank you so much for sharing. It's been a blessing. Any last anythings? Those of you who've been sitting in here, I'm eyeing some of you. I can see you. Get busy, get your devices and get going, because yikes, time's running out. It's a year down the line, hey? It's a year down the line, some of you guys. Just saying. Okay, no probs. If you want to get a device, get hold of me. We can ship it anywhere. And there's training. I've got all of that involved as well. And there's training on the products too. So for personal use, for practice use. Have a look at the website, please. Go and have a look at Business in a Box, Practitioner Business in a Box. That's what I'm speaking about. Okay. Love you all. Thanks so much.